Welcome to Transforming Work with Sophie Wade, exploring the future of work. Find out what's going on, disruptions, evolutions, opportunities, challenges, and interventions in our multi-generational distributed organizations. With a new tech and talent focus, discover what you need to know to stay upskilled and relevant and ensure your business keeps its competitive edge. Sophie investigates the promise and reality of the future of work now and as we look ahead. She interviews people who are changing work experiences and practices and shares how we can each transition smoothly and successfully to effective and more productive new ways of working.
Hi, welcome to 2025. This episode, it's just me, setting the stage for the year ahead. It's about the changes we're going through and the need to absorb and ride while guiding the evolutions as we move ahead. We need to lean in and step up. We need to learn, be intentional and flexible, and, as we forge ahead in our tech-driven world, bring human-centric mindsets and approaches. Empathy. I will also propose 3 key areas of work to focus your energy and attention on, which will make it more manageable. Your workforce, work design, and work skills. First, let's reframe the game. Let's reconsider our situations and circumstances, which will help. We are experiencing work in progress, fast evolving, in flux. Yes, I understand and recognize that changes can feel overwhelming at times. It can feel like there's too much in motion. At the same time, more motion is more natural. More flexibility is more attuned with the lack of conformity of human behavior. We can lean into our natural capacity to adapt if we reframe what we've been used to and why. To highlight a conventional example, the rigid construct of 5 days in the office, 8 hours a day, which has been familiar, which was our habit, was never researched, analyzed, strategized, and identified as optimal. The 40-hour workweek was originally proposed in 1817 by a Welsh utopian called Robert Owen. His 8 hours of labor, 8 hours of leisure, and 8 hours of rest was perhaps one of the earliest unexpected global marketing slogan success stories, and it spread quickly around the world in the 1800s. It eventually became law in 1938 in the US, and Ford adopted it for the Model T production line. Office-based work evolved from factory-based settings and schedules that were far from healthy and sustainable. 7- and 6-day work weeks, 18-plus hours a day, in cramped and toxic work environments. In the US, 2 weeks of paid holidays was introduced in the early 1900s by private companies, not enforced by government intervention, as they found workers were burning out. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution, the rigid structures and layers of work have been at odds with humans' natural behavior and labor. Chopping wood, no swing is the same, no piece of wood is alike. Each branch or trunk has knots and imperfections that change how the axe slices it apart. Raising kids, no 2 children are the same, no day teaching a child is alike. Each young mind absorbs and processes information differently. Hunting prey, no deer, boar, or birds are the same. No reaction they make or path or flight they take is similar. And hunters have to anticipate these responses. The same is true for farming and fishing, for making and creating. Like the weather or the oceans or seismic activity, we do understand, expect, and adjust for the unpredictable. The consistency is our need to be flexible and adaptable. It's natural. Yes, we deliberately strived to ensure production was more predictable, to be more repeatable and scalable, to meet the needs of growing populations starting in the 1800s. Yet then, as soon as we have been able, we have engineered individual customization. When it became viable, our customers have been demanding it, and we have been wanting it as workers. Why? The reason is extraordinarily simple: because we are human. Not one of our lives is comparably the same, nor our needs, obligations, desires, skills, preferences, career interests, strengths, families, communities, or environments. We have been developing more effective, which means more human and intuitive, touchscreens, interfaces, workspaces, technology solutions, and personal tools to solve for our natural needs and desires as consumers and customers. Working in human-centric ways is what we do best, at companies that respond, evolve, and grow like living organisms. We aren't machines, and we aren't good at pretending to be machines. We created machines to produce at enormous scale. Machines do repetitive tasks far better than humans do. We get bored. We naturally make mistakes. We also didn't appreciate the lack of autonomy in the factory environment. And in the early 1800s, the Prussian factory school system had to be introduced in the US to raise docile factory workers. Prior to that, only unmarried women were prepared to work in factories. Bringing together a collection of humans to produce products and services for other humans, the characteristics of work are human. We don't naturally fit in boxes, physical, mental, or functional. Jobs are not easily or naturally rigidly defined, as we each have different capabilities, and different people doing the same job will do it slightly differently. That is what we are good at as humans, having different perspectives, bringing a variety of professional experiences and personal contexts, as well as passions and quirks to offer and spark new ideas, expand and build upon them differently, and provide wide-ranging solutions to meet the requirements and demands of our prospects and clients. We are learning new, higher levels of working. We have been developing work of greater complexity that we, intuitively or semi-consciously, believe we are capable of doing. With more clear-eyed and honest assessment, modern work comprises elements in combination that require all of our understanding, experience, and expertise to comprehend and accomplish together. Like our world, work is moving in ways we cannot control, but we can observe and not just react, but engage and take proactive steps to prepare and anticipate the changes that are within our scope and nature to understand and work with. It is natural for us to grow and keep creating and taking on greater challenges that we learn and assimilate. The fact it is natural does not make it easy, but we can recognize it is within our means to adapt, which we must. That is evolution, at work and in work. I could be dramatic and say it's adapt or die. However, when we act deliberately to absorb the consequences, we can thoughtfully experiment to discover the different evolutionary pathways and choose the one that works for us, our company, our team, our personal and professional lives. We do have a habit of innovating and then recognizing over time all the unintended or perhaps anticipatable but unconsidered consequences of our purposeful creativity and creations. Why do we do that over and over again? It's curious. Possibly because we do not empathize with others as we develop new ideas. We focus on generating specific outcomes for ourselves and a particular intended audience, but somehow do not recognize or think through whom else will or might be affected, and also how those repercussions might indirectly impact us too, i.e. systems thinking, that our actions are not independent and isolatable, but always have some ripple effect on others, and which reciprocally ripple back to us in ways that we need to adapt to. We have been creating increasingly sophisticated activities, operations, and tools which require increasingly complex responses and actions that we have to figure out, often on the fly. That's what we do as humans. We often don't look beyond our own purview until it's too late. Our individual worlds and communities used to be small, and the impact of our actions was limited. However, now our world is interconnected. We still aren't quite fully acknowledging the global system that is naturally interconnected with the Internet of Things surpassing 30 billion things and growing fast. So what's important is that we are human, and motion, growth, and evolution are inherent and natural. That we need to think and act as integral parts of the interconnected system we live and work in. That business and work are in motion and we cannot control the multidimensional change we have generated, but we can and must be intentional to determine our fate and progress. How you approach change, and specifically the significant ongoing changes occurring in and across our professional world, affects your ability to flex and adapt. Work with the changes, not against them. Understand, nudge, influence, direct, and deflect. You can't control them, however you can influence and affect them. Now let's explore 3 fundamental areas of transformation that are reshaping our operational and work landscapes. Consider each through the lens of modern work principles, learning, intention, flexibility, and empathy. Life. The three areas of work are the workforce, how individuals and teams are increasingly working with AI and AI agents, the emerging AI ecosystem. Work design, how jobs are evolving with new tech integration. And work skills, how we are needing to learn and rapidly upskill talent. First, the workforce. The question of who performs work has been evolving dramatically. AI and AI agents are being integrated, and we are witnessing the emergence of the collaborative, blended human-AI workforce. PwC's October 2024 Pulse survey found that a third of companies said AI was fully integrated into products and services. Gartner's 2024 Work Trends report shares that 67% of mature companies are creating new roles specifically focused on AI-human collaboration. And Gartner also predicts that AI agents will handle 15% of daily work decisions by 2028. Different industries, finance, tech, law, healthcare, consumer products, and retail, they're all adapting for the needs of their particular business, operations, and workers. JP Morgan Chase's AI system, COIN, Contract Intelligence, analyzes payment documents like invoices to detect fraudulent or inaccurate information before funds are released. In its first year, COIN saved $150 million by identifying inaccuracies in invoices and helped reduce the number of person hours required for annual audits and reviews by 360,000 hours. Error rates in commercial payments fraud decreased from around 3% to approximately 1%. Law firm Allen & Avery launched Contract Matrix, a contract negotiation tool leveraging AI with tools from Microsoft and Harvey to build new revenue streams and boost efficiency. Over 1,000 A&O lawyers were quickly using the tool, and the firm says it saves approximately 7 hours when negotiating a contract. Procter & Gamble believes the combination of human expertise augmented with AI can be a good driver of business growth. P&G can now test the effectiveness of a new advertising campaign and get results in minutes rather than weeks. How can you transform your team to adapt to the shift? Consider how you can identify opportunities for human-AI collaboration in your role and team. What AI capabilities complement your team's uniquely human skills? And how can you help your team build confidence in working with AI tools? Next, work design. The nature of work itself is transforming fundamentally. AI and information processing technologies are expected to have the biggest impact, with 86% of respondents expecting these technologies to have transformed their business by 2030, according to the World Economic Forum in their 2025 report. Meanwhile, a meta-analysis of 54 studies found that hierarchies negatively impact team performance. Companies are now becoming flatter to be more agile and responsive. The traditional design of work as jobs is evolving to a more dynamic combination of tasks, projects, and skills. Deloitte research found that skills-based organizations are 63% more likely to achieve their results compared to those without a skills-based approach, and 79% more likely to provide a positive work experience. Spotify has now restructured its product development using agile methodology. Teams became squads, small cross-functional groups responsible for specific features or areas in the product, which each operate autonomously, making decisions about their work while adhering to agile principles. According to a 2023 user survey, the user satisfaction score rose to 85%, up from 72%, which was the score prior to the agile implementation. The shift to agile practices also led to a 25% improvement in employee engagement scores. The objective of the redesign is for your employees to be able to deploy their skills where and when needed as relevant new projects arise, which starts with inventorying and tracking the skills of every member of the workforce and then facilitating their ability to work across the organization. At MasterCard, they've created an internal talent marketplace called Unlocked that created a digital, automated platform that matches people with projects and leaders with talent. They want people to be able to connect cross-regionally and cross-functionally via sharing, volunteering, and mentoring. They offer a more holistic way for people to consider long-term career opportunities. The concept of each worker having a skills passport is growing, where employees can showcase their capabilities and take on projects across different departments based on their skill sets, not their job titles. These digital documents are being offered by the Singapore government, the UK government, and the European Commission. It's called the Europass, as well as being touted by many private companies, including Unilever, Pearson, and Skyhave. Work design is an inevitable part of adapting to modern work. The faster pace of marketplace developments requires not just flattening your company's hierarchy, but also intentionally facilitating the ability for employees at all levels to move internally and use their skills effectively. Internal talent mobility isn't easy or obvious to operationalize, and your organization needs to find the framework, system, and approach that is suitable for your business and workforce, which is necessary and worth it. To start navigating this change, you can focus on designing flexible work systems by breaking down jobs into task clusters, developing cross-disciplinary capabilities in your teams, creating clear paths for skills application across departments, and building feedback loops to measure effectiveness. Last but not least, work skills. The methods of work execution are evolving rapidly in conjunction with work design. It's important to be building adaptable skill sets rather than training for specific roles. The World Economic Forum's 2025 Future of Jobs anticipates that workers can expect that 2/5 of their existing skill sets will be transformed or become outdated over the 2025 to 2030 period. 63% of employers identify skills gaps as the major barrier over this period. Accordingly, 85% of employers surveyed plan to prioritize upskilling their workforce. How can your organization upskill employees while serving customers and building the business? Amazon is investing significantly in its upskilling 300,000 employees through its Career Choice program, which offers courses in technology, healthcare, and data analytics, as well as providing free cloud computing skills, training millions of people around the world with programs for the public too. Lloyds Bank has launched a digital academy to train employees in areas like cybersecurity, coding, and digital marketing. Siemens has implemented a global learning ecosystem, giving workers access to tailored courses on emerging technologies, and that's increased employee engagement by 40%. So to implement learning in the flow of work, you can coach for skills development rather than task management. Embed micro-learning opportunities in daily tasks. Use AI to suggest relevant learning based on project needs. And create peer learning networks. There is much to think about and work on. Successful transformation depends on embracing continuous learning as a core habit, which needs to be paced, customized, integrated into new workflows, and supported as a function of ongoing work. Also, approaching change with intention, engaging employees in the process to contribute their ideas and participate in effective execution. Maintaining flexibility in your mindsets and methods. Work is in flux, nothing is set in stone, and adaptability is essential all along the way. And leading with empathy, recognizing that each person has different skills, a different career pathway ahead, adapting at a different pace, and who will likely have occasional hiccups along the way. Modern work principles don't change. They give you the foundation upon which change is facilitated and friction is reduced. Incorporating learning, intention, flexibility, and empathy allows your organization to integrate new technologies, design work for current and future needs, and upskill to keep your business running smoothly, permitting you to deploy suitable means and methods to fit different people who have different work styles and preferences. Thank you for listening to this first episode of 2025. If you are finding the new business and work environment hard to navigate, please reach out for executive mentorship, board advisory work, and empathy-centered programs that enable multi-generational distributed leaders, managers, and teams to up-level rapidly for modern work and be ready for whatever lies ahead. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and like it. You can also write a quick review wherever you listen. For regular video updates, curated useful articles, research, and information, follow me on LinkedIn and sign up for my Work in Progress newsletter there. Thanks for listening. Until next time.